Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Caveman to Cosmos with me, Alpha Omega and Byzantium. So the turn is 5034, year 509 AD, and we are one turn away from vassalage. What's new? Well, a bunch of things, but none so major that you wouldn't hear me talk about them before. First of all, our population keeps growing. We are now at 1,114,000 people. We have increased our crop yield, which is the income in food, finally above 6,000, so it's 6,064 now. And the manufactured goods at 8,641, and gold production is slowly reaching out towards 20,000. The life expectancy is still 63, but that's as much as we can do. I have been focusing on upgrading my towns one after another. Just noticed that Vodena has wealth, but that is planned out. Oh, no, actually, I forgot to shadow these ones. That doesn't really matter. None of these... Well, we have the catacombs here, which are useful. These buildings are all locked behind building the castle. So, castle gatehouse, severe revolver's crime, moat increases defense, ballista turret, adjacent enemy units will receive 20% damage, and catacombs. So let's start with the catacombs, and then build the other ones. All of them. Generally speaking, I've trying to increase their production. When production is done, then it's food. We've built a huge amount of community gardens, and then last but not least is gold, culture, education, and so on. This is all, of course, subject to the fact that we need to keep these stats aligned. You can see that some of our cities are already massively or dramatically increasing their education levels because we want to now keep them all above 1,000. So that is one of the goals that I have. But I'm also monitoring disease and crime, making sure that it's non-existent in all of our cities. Now, this is also connected to another thing that I haven't spoken yet. Do we see it here? I think I saw it somewhere. It was, I think it's this one. No. The thing that I'm trying to search for and that I would like to show you is the happiness of the city. Now you see that all of our cities are extremely happy. We really have no problem with unhappiness. And the unhappiness, apart from increased cost of maintenance, is the only thing that's supposed to block us from settling new cities. So because our income is so high, I'm actually thinking of doing another set of expansion, which we could have both southwards, eastwards, though that one arguably would be fairly poor in yield, or, and that is something that I haven't yet truly gave thought to, westwards, because that would require us to declare war on our Babylonian neighbor. And, you know, maybe even ideally on the Carthage. But Babylon is the weakest member of the link. They have just Sipar, and when you look at their stats, the game claims they have 1.3 times strength of our military. The Carthage is 0.9. Well, we keep plundering these territories, destroying their crops. But there's a huge amount. We could easily settle 4 or 5 cities in this belt alone. So the issue is that this is also the most expensive one in terms of maintenance, because our capital is all the way over here. So it would make more sense actually to raise Shabas and Amang and find the cities in here. I mean, we would get some iron, some pricklepear, and some peyote. And here we would get some camels, and some shrimp, and some clams. So none of these are actually really valuable. it would make more sense to raise Egyptian cities down here and, you know, get access to the bison, llamas, and the prickle pears, and eventually into the pomegranate. But I don't know. It's really this is all just desert. So if we want to expand this way, we really can only expand along the coast. There is no other way. And I mean, arguably, there are some nice places, and you guys know that the growth of food will eventually be really, really good, because Lutgawain is now at population 5 already, and you can see that it's getting insane amounts of food from the water. Now we're consuming... where is it? To consume 62, which is... Okay, from population is only 24, so you definitely get more food from each of these tiles than the actual population is consuming. So, you know, the speed at which the city is growing is either going to be the same or, you know, speeding up. And same effect would be to the other places like Shabas if we raised it, but it's a question, you know, it's a question of priorities. Either way, that's one thing that I'm toying with. I mean, eventually we are going to have to attack our neighbors and steal their fertile land. But before that, I might actually go ahead and try to expand this way, if just for the cheapness of the area. And wow, getting incense would be really good. Second thing that I wanted to talk about is the technology. I went through it and I actually identified a couple of technologies that we want to get as fast as possible. Now we're going to go for vassalage, that is a given. And then we're going to go for feudalism, because feudalism gives us a couple of really nice buildings like the castle keep and the great manor. Unfortunately, oh, a squatter camp. Lowers defense but gives extra production and gold. And city requires 25% less to grow. Huh, that's actually interesting. Didn't see that building. But it gives you access to vassal levies, feudal, and serfdom. Then we are going to go for surveying. The reason why I'm prioritizing this one is that engineering school gives us extra 4 production, but we also get a ton of new buildings for our cities. So these are an upgrade to the automatically built things that we have in each of our cities. After that, we're going to go to architecture, which will give us the Masons Guild, which is really, really good. And it gives engineering school bonus, but most of it's good because it leads to guilds. You can see here what guilds are going to do for us. Every bardic circle, every carpet maker, every furniture maker and tailor shop, which I'm pretty sure we have in pretty much every single city, will give us 4 extra gold. So that's 16 extra gold times 30 cities that we have. Plus we're going to get 4 culture. All lumber mills and workshops gets extra production as well and gold. And we can build towns, which is an upgrade on the current things that we have, which are as a cottage, and then there's I think it's a village now that we're building. Villages, yeah. And we get a ton of extra really nice buildings, which are like pub. They're good. I think it's an upgrade to the tavern. Yeah. We get lacquerware workshop. Okay, that should also, yeah, that replaces lacquerware maker. But there's a ton of really nice buildings here. Guild hall, for example. Look at that. That's amazing. And this also enables guilds, apprenticeship, and agricultural guilds. Then we're gonna go back to civil service, which gives bureaucracy, but I want to get it because of the villages. And I am then going to theology and papacy, which gives free church, and theology gives religious education. Once we have all these 8 technologies done, we are going to do a massive change of our civics. So if we go through the civics once again, we're gonna keep the republic. We are going to switch meritocracy to vassalage. We are going to switch conscription to vassal levies. We are going to switch the state church to free church, proletariat to feudal, trade to guilds. Public works, I think, will remain. Coinage will remain. Specialized to serfdom. And martial to religious. And agricultural guilds instead of smallholding, which you can see will boost, you know, the food and production and gold in all of our cities quite dramatically. And all of this is going to require us to get, I don't know, 80, maybe 100 turns of anarchy. You be the guest. I don't know. I think there is a synergy, so it's not exactly an, you know, linear growth, but we're looking at this at 30, maybe more turns. But in 14 turns, we're gonna get our next great person, and we already have 2 in Constantinople. We got a great artist here and a great merchant. So we need only 1 more to get the Golden Age. So once we get the Golden Age, it's gonna kill all of the negatives that we have. And I think that, quite honestly, we will be able to get at least a couple more great people before we finish with all of these technologies. So, you know, it's a good plan. It's just a lot of turns and at least 3 more episodes before we do the major change. But I'm looking forward to it. This plan seems like a good one. So with all that, you know, fluff that I just spoke about, I think we can end the turn now and hear it for vassalage, which is the first step towards our new civilization. So ending the turn now, and I'll be back when the game gives us the technology. Well, I'm back with Mansa Musa, who wants us to cancel our deals with the vile Sioux. So no.
As the king lives, so live his vassals.
Okay, so vassalage enables vassalage, but also enables a local lord, which is an extra trait, extra withdrawal chance, avoid capture chance, healing extra, 10% damage per turn in friendly lands, gives extra 10% city defense and 10% less to upgrade. Interesting. And then we got a Bushido 1, plus 10% chance to avoid capture, and 10% cultural revolt protection. And as far as buildings go, we get the Himeji Samurai Castle, which is really nice, but I don't think we can build it. It requires city, castle, or Starford. So it's with men. Oh, we probably could. And Bengali culture. And that is pretty much it. Just vassalage. Cool. So the next one is going to be the feudalism. I mean, vassalage, as I mentioned, is going to be really good. I decided to go with this one instead of the bureaucracy. It was pointed out in the comments to me that bureaucracy actually provides us with some really good buildings. So even though they downright pillage you with the costs, there is some benefit to it. But vassalage itself is going to be better because it really gives us immediately free civilian upkeep. It has a lower maintenance, and it gives more food production and gold in all cities. It gives extra bonus to trade routes, so it is definitely going to be much better. And you can see just this one would take 8 turns for a revolution. So that's actually an issue for us at this point. A songwriter from Ladise Al-Likum has composed a heart-rending ballad, which is growing in popularity among the people. So we're glad to see that the local culture is thriving, plus 100. Or found the writing of a play that fund the writing of a play that revolves around this ballad to be performed at the local theater. Or see that the artist is given a recording contract. Or requires radio. Okay, we don't have that. But yeah, let's pay a little for that. Okay, so with that said, I have 23 turns ahead of me to feudalism. I think this is a fairly down-to-earth idea of how we're gonna do the stuff. We still have 8 technologies ahead of us, so that's 3 episodes. The fire brigades are gonna be the last one, which I'm including them because the fire brigades lowering flammability by 15 is pretty good, but it's not something that we really need. The feudalism, surveying, architecture, and guilds are more important. Same with theology and papacy. The civil service, I mean, that one is mostly for... Yeah, but all of these buildings... Actually, no, orphanage doesn't. Civil servant school does. Almhouse doesn't. So not all of these are really bad. Servants' quarters. That's also pretty good, but it increases in maintenance. Well, bureaucracy. I mean, the villages are gonna get extra income. And yeah, village upgrades to town. Printing press, social contrast. Oh, you're not getting the bonus at all. That sucks. But town is actually getting a bonus from paved roads. Upgrades to suburbs. Okay, this one is gonna get a huge bonus eventually. So it's fine. Anyway, I'll see you in 23 turns with feudalism then. Turn 5057, year 527 AD, and we are one turn away from feudalism. So what's new? Well, a lot of things. I'm gonna start by the fact that our civilization is growing like crazy. We are now at 1,163,750 people, and you can see that the crop yield, manufactured goods, and gold is also skyrocketing. So we are really moving forward. This is connected also to a couple of things. First of all, I've started a campaign against the barbarians in this area. If you remember, there has been a city over here, there was a city over here, and we've also had an automated attacks on the barbarian city here, and on some barbarians over here that try to cross to our territory. But the cities, both of the cities are actually so far away that we haven't really encountered that, but our automated border defense forces actually raised the city here. So we destroyed 3 barbarian cities. For the one down south, we didn't get anything apart from a couple of military prisoners, but for the 2 cities here, in both cases, we got a captive citizen, which I have moved to Woodgowain and let them join the city. So as you can see, Woodgowain is now at population 7, growing with the speed of 52 food per turn. And actually, we have invested all of the captives that we have left in Woodgowain into speeding up port. It was something like 30 turns, but the port has been sped up quite significantly. And now when we get it, not only is it going to give us an extra trade route, a bonus trade route yield, and extra science, gold, and culture, but it's also going to, if I understand it correctly, boost all of the coastal tiles by 2 food and 2 gold, giving us an additional, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 12 food and 12 gold per turn. So that is something that we really want to do. But now when Woodgowain is at population 7, we can't actually get any more population in here. So the next population that we are going to get from the barbarians is all going to go to Justinopolis, which is actually growing fairly nicely on its own, with 26 turns to go to get the population 4. And it's currently building the forge, and then it's going to start with the slaughterhouse, dried meat maker, and a couple of extra buildings that will boost its food yield. Now this is also connected with the thing that I have made a decision about the growth. You can see that we have quite a lot of money coming in every turn. So we're going to have found in 2 new cities. One of them is actually ready to be founded right now. Well, actually, right now, but next turn. The settler has just arrived, and we are going to settle south from Mesembria, getting access to the horses, donkey, tin ore, and apple, and we're gonna push down towards this area. Now the reason why I'm doing this is that there is an actually pretty big cultural push from Mali here, which, while they're spreading pretty rapidly, I'd like to get this area under my control and potentially maybe even later found a city here. But if we want to block them from eventually declaring war on Carthage and stealing that territory. So if we found a city here, my hope is that we'll be able to push them we'll push our culture down. I don't think I'm gonna, you know, create another city here, but eventually we could do another city over here. And if we ever do attack Carthage and raise their cities, we'll probably do a project of 2 or 3 cities in this area, claiming this entire, I mean, this entire territory has already been sort of claimed by us because we are isolating them, culling them down, and just making sure that nobody reaches them. This is part of it. You know, Mali cannot expand this way, and we're gonna try it. So next turn we are going to found a city here. Another city is going to be found here on the coast. The reason is we get some clams here. We're gonna get access to this sulfur tile, and also get access to the shrimp, and then we can found another city over here. Now there's still barbarian culture here, and I didn't know why, but Heliopolis was originally Egyptian and it was conquered by the barbarians. We have units coming here and army actually amassing because they got 80% defense. We can't attack the city, but more units are coming. You can see it here. We have already worker units here. We have archers in position. So we'll found the city anyway, but we need to destroy Heliopolis to get the population. I'm actually going to take... I don't know how many people we're going to get from this. The captive people might be, what, 4, 5? If that's the case, all of them are going to go to Justinianopolis because we're going to get the population 7. If we get any more, they're going to join this city, and we'll hopefully claim this area afterwards for ourselves, because this is a really good spot, and I mean a really good spot for another city. So we'll see how we're going to be doing with this one new city here, but if all goes well, we should be able to get, get Heliopolis settled once again afterwards. It is possible though that Egypt is going to claim this. I don't know. We shall see. As far as our cities go, always fine. We keep building everywhere. I'm building some more siege rams in Iconium, though our offensive armies are already on the way. Ah, here they are. We got 1 trebuchet, 7 siege rams, 2 heavy ballistas, and 4 trebuchets coming. So 5 trebuchets, and they're gonna come here, and we're gonna lay siege to Heliopolis and hopefully destroy it. There's not that many defenders there, so our small army should be able to do it. But we're sending more horse archers in there and some horse crossbowmen. So okay, you're not. You're just border patrolling. Yeah, we'll have a lot of units here going back to the border patrol. But right now we need all of them in here so that we can take the city down. Cool. So that's as much as I have to say. Now, because I've been playing non-stop for the past 10 turns, I want to go through our trade partners and see if there's something they would be willing and able to trade to me. So Mali can't. You also don't have anything. Persia. Nope. So they're all completely behind at this point. Nothing here either. If we talk with you. Carthage is actually still super mad at us, but I think they're getting better. Yeah, it's no longer like -40. We are their worst enemy, but I don't think they have... I think they have the good sense to not arc us much more. And Babylon, we are also their worst enemy and they're at war already. Nothing here. Rite of passage, we cannot offer them that. Okay, so there's no one really to trade with at this point. I could maybe offer them some technology here. See if they're gonna take anything from me. And what would they offer? Oh, they would give me 183,000 gold for cryptography. I think that's a bit excessive, though I have no idea what would be the right amount. So it's kind of hard to think about that. Okay, I mean, that's in the turn. And then next turn we're going to get feudalism. And afterwards we are going to found our new city. And hopefully in the update afterwards, when we are going to get... What's that gonna be? Feudalism, and then Surveying, okay. Surveying, you will already see me you will see me reaping the fruit of raising Heliopolis. Wow, that was way more complicated to say than I thought it would be.
I will to my lord be true and faithful, and love all which he loves, and shun all which he shuns.
The Anglo-Saxon Oath of Fealty. Okay, so feudalism gives us vassal levies, feudal, and serfdom. It enables Bushido 2 and 3. Okay. Vassal levies, okay, we know about this, and it gives a bunch of world wonders. Matsumoto Castle. Topkapi Palace. Oh, the Ottoman. Beautiful. Actually, if you ever are in Istanbul, I highly recommend you visit this. This was one of mine, and still is one of the monuments that I really, really like. Strengthens vassals. Unit. Okay, and what's else in here? Falconry School. Requires Hawking. Care replaces Falconer. We get the Grand Estate, 1-3 Noble. Castle Keep, requires Castle or Starforge. Okay, this one requires Feudal though. Grand Manor requires Vassalage. Squattergem, this is kind of cool. Requires vassal levies and the city requires 25% less food to grow, but that's really good. I think we're gonna build that everywhere. Plus it gives you a lot of production and gold. Crime poaching. Does this upgrade to anything? No. It's just slums. Ukrainian culture. And then we get a lot of units here. Warden. Early Imperial Guard. 1 unit allowed. Plus 50% city defense. Okay, so that's a good one that we're gonna build to protect Constantinople. Master Warden, Siberian Tracker, Bison Warden. Huh. Okay, and leads to a lot of other technologies. Okay, let's see the big picture here, because we can already see what we want. So vassalage we want. We want vassal levies. We want feudal. And we want serfdom. And I think that's all that we want, is it? Public. Okay, that's fine. Vassalage. Legislature. We'll also want the free church here. And we'll want the guilds. And there's gonna be a couple more things here. Religious. And wow, that's gonna be agricultural guilds. So already we're at 25 turns, but I have a good news for you guys. Okay, let me see if we can build new. Falconry School. Cool. Our education is fine though. Okay, build me the Falconry School. We need some good falcons. What I wanted to see here. Okay, Castle Keep. My god, this is amazing. 50% extra defense, 10.56 extra culture, and Falconer School. Okay, so building the Castle Gatehouse, then the Moat, Ballista, and Ironsmith. So let me just put the Falconer School there, then the Castle Keep, then the Ballista, Moat, and then I wanted the Ironsmith. Okay, but what I wanted to show you. Oh. Source of lava near Dorian. Okay, Lama City. I wanted to show you that we actually have the 3 great people now. We have the great spy, Julius Rosenberg. We have the great merchant, Hanno II the Great. And we get Rabindra Tagore. So we're going to actually trigger the Golden Age right now, which would be great, but unfortunately we still need surveying, which is not going to give us much, but architecture and then guilds will. Oh, okay, architecture won't either, but it guilds will. And then the theology and papacy. So we need to finish these first. Yeah, it's gonna be long, but the Golden Age wouldn't make it worth it. I was actually thinking of splitting it into two, but considering we're getting 41 turns, or let's say one great person per 31 turns, this is gonna be 22, 28, so that would be one great person, 26 and 24. Okay, so that would be potentially okay, this would be potentially the second. Oh no, let's not do it. Let's stick to the plan, even if it means we are going to be stuck in our ways for quite some time. I prefer that. So with that said, time to settle down here. Is it the right position? It is the right position. So the new city is gonna be called Ioannina, and we need to start building stuff here. Okay, Flint Gatherer, the mining camp would be good, but Grass Gatherer, Lumber, okay, and then you and you. That's how it is. And you got pretty good income from these two areas. You guys will build up range targeting. You are going to be promoting teaching. You are going to... Oh, that's a druidism. Ah, I built the wrong missionary. God damn it. Well, okay, druidism is also not bad. So, wait, someone can build it quickly, right? Yeah, Adi, for example, that's building Ladybug Sanctuary, can get us Oracle. And I built another one for the second city. God damn it. Okay, but Ioannina is our newest addition. You are going to go there. And you are supposed to go into here so that you hold that extra city. We're gonna pillage here. We're still making money, so we can definitely afford one more city. And we're just gonna wait for our budget to improve. We have a lot of gold buildings in the pipeline, and we're gonna make sure that they will... Oh, this is dangerous. Well, this actually isn't all that dangerous, but we need to make sure that that we don't overextend. But as you probably have guessed, many cities have quite a lot of gold producing buildings that, you know, especially the new ones. Oh, Edinburgh Castle is going to be ready soon. Topkapi Palace, Moiderslot Castle, 100% defense extra, Major Samurai Castle. Well, all of the newer cities, you know, are going to be building pretty good things, including places like Ludgolain and Ioannina now, Adramitium, you know, and the other ones. So we'll eventually get to the point where we can found the third city in Heliopolis. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now, go play something else. Probably gonna be playing... Oh, you know what, I'm looking forward to playing Dredge, so I'm gonna stop it here and record one episode of that, and the next update, which you will see in this episode, will be happening in 22 turns with surveying. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in about a second with that. Turn 5078, year 544 AD, and we are one turn away from surveying. I'm really looking forward to the technology, but there is a lot of news that I have for you guys. First of all, our Eastern campaign didn't end exactly as I intended. We actually did raise the city, but the moment we did, this entire area turned back to Egyptian zone of control. And because I have a strict policy of not attacking my neighbors unless provoked, we had no chance but to vacate this area, and I guess they are going to reclaim it. Well, good for them either way. Egypt is still in the game, and I'm happy for them. So instead, I actually rerouted our attention, I guess, to this little oasis in the middle of the desert where we have found the city called Eudoxiopolis. And while it is super small at this point, it is going to grow its borders in one turn, giving us access to the prickle pear and to the peyote here. And later on, hopefully even to the iron ore. Now, the surrounding territory is not going to give us much, but I'm hoping that we can at least build the towns there, because that would give the city at least a huge amount of income and some food. Unfortunately, the city is gonna starve for a long time. Or I mean, not starve, the people will not die hungry there. But the fact is that there is not enough of food in the desert, and because it doesn't have access to the ocean or river or anything, it is going to be fairly isolated. So while Cephalonia and Ludgowain are going to grow like crazy, this city probably won't. But, you know, it is a desert oasis for us, and it is a step to securing our eastern border. Now, because it is so close to Constantinople, founding 2 new cities actually didn't hurt us all that much. We are at minus 700 gold per turn, which you can see will probably be fine for us for a 200 turns, something like that. So we'll be fine, especially if we change the civics. We also have Ioannina down here, but I think I showed that in the previous update. And that city is also starting to grow nicely. We have a lot of units working on the border control. By the way, I found out that the trebuchets can bombard the city without actually you having to use the battering rams. So that is a way better option than throwing your battering rams at the enemy walls. So happiness is right behind the counter. We also have a lot of new units working the border control, which is kind of cool. And because we raised the city here, and I don't think it was called Memphis, but I have an idea that it was called Memphis. I'm kind of surprised. Might be, you know, the ex-Memphis, and now they have Memphis again. It's definitely a bit weird. But we got, I think, 4 captive civilians out of that. Where are they? They are here somewhere. We've had them here. Oh, okay, so they have to be here somewhere. Damn, okay. I'm confused. Okay, I cannot... Oh no, they're here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we got 4. I was right. And wow, they're actually reaching Justinianopolis in 1 turn. Okay, so you're gonna see not only the border growth, but we're gonna let them join the city in the next turn. Meaning this, well, Justinianopolis town is gonna grow to population 7 as well. We've had a couple of cities grow as well, so you can now see that the population is nearing 1.2 million. Food production is increasing to 6,304. Industry production is 8,881, and gold production is way above 20,000, now at 20,616. So, because the surveying, if I'm not mistaken, will give us the new houses, we are most likely going to see a dramatic change in the production. So you can see it here, 8,881, 20,616. It's probably not going to give us food, but still it's going to be pretty good. So let's end the turn and hear it for surveying.
Old surveyors never die. They just seek new horizons.
Okay, so surveying. Obsolete housing hogans, mud huts, pueblos, teepees, bark huts, and yurts. And from now on, our workers will build improvements 15% faster. Engineering school gives us 4 new production. And we get the surveyor's office, which gives 15%. Okay, so that's an improvement on the crane, I think. Or maybe it's a new one, actually. That would be interesting if it's an addition to the one that we have. We can build a national wonder called Guild of Woodcutters and Guild of Carpenters. And here we have trespassing crime, housing manors, housing shacks, housing cottages, housing estates, housing shantytown, and housing commons. We also get Valet 5. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, so let's see if we can build something new in our cities. I don't think so. No, we can build a wow, we really can build a surveyor's office. It is a completely new. Wow, that's really nice. Plus 7 production. No food or nothing. Well, we can build the catacombs here as well. So, Eudoxiopolis has grown, but before we look at that, yeah, we got more manufactured goods, I think. It's kind of weird, not such a big difference, but I think that the houses are still something that, you know, upgrades only a little, but I was thinking a bit more of a, yeah, so in Constantinople we have a houses commons, houses cottages, houses estates, really nice, houses manors, shacks, and we get the shantytown, of course, as well. But that's pretty cool, you know, that is pretty cool. I don't know if that changes the way the city looks. I don't think so. It still looks a bit ancient to me, not really medieval, but I mean, what am I expecting? Okay, either way, Eudoxiopolis can now reach out to the surrounding areas. We have 2 priests in here. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And we have, where do we have you? Okay, here's the elephant riders. So if they build the orchard here for prickle pear, they are going to increase the production of food here by 5 and gold of 7, meaning we'll have 7 food and 8 gold. Okay, so let's start with that. That's a pretty good starting point. Let's capture these guys. Okay, we got the workboats here to provide us with a bit more. Okay, kelp harvesters, I kind of think that's fine. You guys can work on the border control, so can you. Semiramis can also work the border control. Here, our people are gonna join Justinianopolis. So 29 food and 109 production. And now that you join the city, okay, still 29, but 181 production. Really nice. Population jumped up to 1,500 people. We're still working. Oh no, we were doing. Oh, got it. We're upgrading the food producing buildings and then the candy shop. Anything here? Nope. We could build the carpenter. Yeah, I thought that the because the carpenter is the first one, it can be upgraded to the, oh, I forgot what it's called, to the crane, and then I thought there was another upgrade, which was the carpenter's office, but it isn't. Okay, butchery can go first because that gives us way more food and it's way cheaper now. Anything in here? Well, quite a lot of gold producing buildings eventually. Extremely cheap. The candy shop is really good, but you are cheaper, so let's get that one. Then the crafts hut, because we need to boost our production of gold slightly. And then we're gonna go with the candy shop. Okay, so for now you are done with your... Okay, we're actually gonna... Ah, okay, so we have a civilian here. Okay, let's keep growing the city for now. That seems like a better task. You can build up the disease control in here. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. We've boosted the population to 1.19 million, which is really nice. And I'll see you, I guess, in the next episode with architecture, because this is looking pretty good. We are expanding eastwards fairly nicely, and we have 3 cities now with population of only 2. But that really isn't... Wait, we need a domestic advisor, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, this is really nice. 3 cities of population 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 cities of population 7, 1, 8, and then 2, 9. And we have 2 cities of 26. A lot of cities with population 19. It's actually pretty interesting. But yeah, again, quite a lot of growth here. It's going to take a while to develop this area. But I am really hopeful that they're going to grow fast. We do still have, and that is something that I need to do now before I forget. So apology for not doing that before. But we do have a lot of, a lot of prisoners here, which we can send to these 2 cities. So first of all, we're going to go to Lidgolain, and from there we are going to distribute you between Cephalonia and Eudoxiopolis, and you are going to hold that. Oh, and last but not least, I wanted to mention that we do have the 3 great people. I think I might have already mentioned that before, but we do have them now, and they're waiting in Constantinople to get us our next great golden age. So once we get the architecture and guilds and then the other technologies, we are going to be great. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to go architecture, guilds, then theology and papacy, because we want the free church. And then we can go with fundamentalism and civil service, because these are not going to give us anything that, you know, we need at this point. While the theology and papacy and architecture and guilds will all give us new civics that we require. So 4 technologies. So not in the next episode, but in the episode after that, we are going to have a major change in the way our empire works. So till then, you guys take care. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time with more Caveman the Cosmos.